all fallen victim to a jump scare or screamer. Whether it was the scary maze game, one of those calm scenery ads, or the haunted chair. They were all over YouTube in the early 2000s to 2010s, and you couldn't escape them. I remember being so on edge whenever a video would play. I was just anticipating a jump scare to pop up. The screamer that scared me the most was this one South Park video. I was really into South Park and horror as a kid, and I would watch all sorts of random videos revolving around the two topics. One day I got recommended a video called Scary South Park or something like that, and 6-year-old me was intrigued. I clicked on it, and I don't remember what played beforehand too well, but it was a relatively normal video, and then out of nowhere a South Park version of the scary maze game jump scare popped up, and it scared the crap out of me. I don't know why a South Parkified version of Reagan scared me so badly, but it did, and I really wish I could find the video, but I've tried so hard and I can't. Creepypastas are scary internet stories and were peak early internet content. Stories like Slenderman, Jeff the Killer, Smile Dog, Ben Drowned, and many more completely took over the internet in the early 2010s. They scared a lot of us as kids because back then they felt so real. A blurry image, a corrupted video, or a random forum post was enough to convince an entire generation that these stories could actually be true. And when they tied in real-world events, forget about it, we were sold. The media sources tied to the stories were also scary enough to stick with us. For me, the two scariest were the Russian sleep experiment picture and Happy Appy. Fun fact, the Russian sleep experiment picture is just a spirit Halloween prop named Spasm. But the face on it is so unnerving and inhuman, I understand why it scared so many people. And Happy Appy's face is just uncanny. I can't really put my finger on why, it just is. It's funny because now that we're older, when you look back on these stories, a good 99% of them are obviously fake and not even scary. But we were gullible kids who believed anything that was on the screen and was portrayed as real. The K-Fee Scary Car commercial is the scenery commercial I mentioned in the first entry. It starts off with a car driving through a scenic background with calm music playing. That plays for a couple seconds and then a zombie-like jump scare pops up. There's a couple of versions and they're all basically the same. One even has a little teddy bear to play into the joke. They're all ads for K-Fee, a German coffee and energy drink brand. The ads went viral and a lot of people used them to prank and scare each other. Halloween costumes are super nostalgic, especially to me because Halloween was such a big deal to me. As I mentioned, I was a big fan of horror as a kid, so naturally I went all out. A normal kid would wear something cute, maybe they'll do something a little scarier like a vampire or zombie, but me? I dressed up as the lab zombie from World War Z and the Walking Dead zombie girl. I stood out at the elementary school Halloween parades to say the very least. But there's something so nostalgic about going to the Halloween store to go pick out your own costume and looking at the wall of pictures or all the costumes on the wall. I Feel Fantastic is a video where a robot named Tara the android sings a song named I Feel Fantastic. The song is repetitive and the video overall gives an unnerving vibe. It just shows the robot singing and moving around, however at one point in the video it zooms in on a backyard. The video went viral and people who watched it were left confused and creeped out. Nobody really understood the point of the video, so naturally people started making theories. The most popular theory was that a killer had created the video and the song was supposed to represent how the killer wanted his victim to feel and that Tara was the victim. And that zoom in the backyard was supposed to show where the victim was buried. However, none of that was true and the whole thing was just an art project created by John Bergeron. I don't want to butcher this one, so I'm gonna have Google Translate say it for me.
Penampakan tuyul di daerah Bogor.
Otherwise known as the weird creature Small Goblin is a video that shows two people sitting down outside and then a rake-like creature walks up behind them. The video is super dark and low quality, so it's kinda hard to make out the rest of what's going on, but for some reason the two people and the cameraman just stay there while the creature walks behind them. Personally, if that was me, I would be running for the hills. I haven't seen many people talk about the video despite it having so many views, and I've also never seen it be debunked before, but I'm going to assume it's fake, especially given the people's reactions. Dolphin Muzzle is a video uploaded by North Fur FX and it shows a man in dolphin makeup. It's really uncanny looking and he just moves around and shows off his work. The video went viral for how creepy it looked, and pictures from the video surfaced around and were used in various cursed and haunted projects. The pictures are still relevant, and I've seen dolphin muzzle pictures in my TikTok comments multiple times, except now it's more of a meme than anything. Bong Chong Dong Ghost is an early webcomic that went viral for its ending. The story follows a girl walking home at night and she notices that a creepy unnatural figure is following her. The girl asks if the figure is okay, and then the comic overrides the browser so you can't escape it, and it plays a jump scare showing the figure turning its head 180 and facing the viewer. It also played loud noises. It was completely unexpected and many Let's Players read the comic and got scared by it. I remember the first time I saw it was from PewDiePie and it scared the crap out of me. Dining Room or There's Nothing is a video that shows a pale girl sitting at a dinner table in what looks like the middle of hell, and she opens her eyes and speaks what sounds like gibberish. She then collapses and her head lands in the bowl as the video zooms out. Then the video replays in reverse and it's revealed that the gibberish was actually "there is nothing" said backwards. The video is creepy and people speculate that it was made to represent that there is nothing after we die. Fake piracy screens are fan-made versions of the piracy screen that would show up when you pirate a game. Most of them take the scary or haunted approach. The most popular ones are the Sonic and Mario ones. A lot of people feel unnerved by them because they break the immersion of the game and let you know that they know you screwed up. And the fan-made ones usually add a jump scare or some other horror aspect that makes it all the more scarier. The Oksu Station Ghost comic is another comic similar to the Bong Chong Dong Ghost comic. The story follows a guy at a train station and he sees a disoriented girl moving around. He texts his friends and his friends say to take a picture of her, so he does that and he sends it to them. She then walks to the wall and starts banging her head against the wall. She then walks away and disappears. The train starts approaching and the guy goes to get on the train, but then the woman's hand pulls him onto the track and he gets hit by the train. To Poop is a style of editing that took games and shows from the 90s and early 2000s and would distort them and add memes. Kinda similar to how dank memes are edited. They go hand in hand. They were never scary, but they were really weird and usually super funny. The funniest ones to me were the Caillou ones. I could sit and watch them and laugh at them for hours. Caillou in the bath was definitely the funniest one to me. Salad Fingers is a web series by David Firth and it follows Salad Fingers, who's a pale green creature with very long fingers. He talks very slowly and creepily and is obsessed with rusty spoons and other metallic objects. The atmosphere in the series is very eerie and uneasy and everything takes place in a post-apocalyptic world. The whole series is very much Uncanny Valley and it scared or at least uneased a lot of the kids who watched it. Jay St. John is a character that was created by Eric Fournier, who was a model but had suffered through a train accident that ultimately ended her career. Fournier created short videos on YouTube using the character and they went viral because of how unnerving they were despite never intending to be. What made it so creepy wasn't the videos but the character herself. The design had parts of a mannequin and fur, so the design along with the lower quality resolution of the videos makes her appear unnerving. To me, it kinda gives off the same vibe as Tara the android. The most popular video by Shay St. John was the hand thing video, and a lot of people were unnerved by it. They move their hands and make weird noises, and I can see why it could be creepy to a lot of people. Treats for Beast is an unnerving YouTube channel created by Jordan Denise. There's disturbing animations and live action videos, the most popular ones being Beast, I Love Jesus, and Who Wants to Gnaw on Human Bones. Most of his animations have that early MS Paint style and are meant to convey different messages and narratives. For example, his video I Love Jesus is a narrative on how the creator portrays hyper-religious people. It's also kind of a parody on them. The videos usually have a song going with them and the way the songs are sang are also creepy. The whole vibe of the channel is creepy and I remember stumbling upon it and thinking, what the hell is this? Gnome Causes Terror in Argentina starts off with a picture of what's supposedly a gnome. It's a blacked out figure with a pointy hat. A blue screen then pops up and says that a small town in South America is living in fear because there's been sightings of what looks like gnomes. I'm sorry, but to me the idea of that is so funny. How are you gonna let little gnomes terrorize your town? Anyways, it then cuts to a low quality video of some guys talking on the street and the camera turns and you see the gnome running and jumping around. The video then ends with some blue screens explaining what had happened. Most of them assume Tunnel is yet another animated webcomic. The story starts with a girl on the train. Eventually, she falls asleep. She wakes up and sees a guy hunched over a couple seats ahead of her. She turns around and sees a couple of passengers who have been attacked laying in their seats. She turns forward again and sees a creature at the front of the train with a machete. She closes her eyes and accepts her fate, and the creature lunges at her and attacks her. Then she wakes up in the hospital and walks around. She sees another patient with the same creature from the train on their chest, and that's the end of the comic. Your creature spotted starts off with a security camera that's on some kind of moving thing in a sewer, and you see a creature peek out from around the corner. The camera starts moving towards it and the creature backs off. Then the camera stays still and the creature peeks out again and then comes out a little more. It looks like that one picture everybody knows of the rake, which why do all these creatures look like the damn rake? It stares at the camera and the camera starts moving towards it and then it runs off, and that's the end of the video. For the sake of time, I'm just gonna talk about the first Don't Hug Me I'm Scared video. The video starts with the three characters sitting at a table and the notebook opens up and starts singing about creativity and how the characters need to start thinking more creatively. Towards the end of the little creativity song, the notebook tells them to get creative and it starts off normally but then it spirals. The characters were doing normal arts and crafts and then it just goes up from there. The video is basically a satire of kids' educational shows, showing how something that looks fun and encouraging on the surface can actually become manipulative and force people to think or act a certain way instead of truly being free and creative. Paris Catacombs Lost Man footage shows a man walking through the Paris catacombs. He sees bones and paintings and graffiti on the walls. He is walking through just exploring the place. But as he progresses deeper into the catacombs, his breathing starts getting louder like he's scared of something, and he starts running deeper and deeper into the catacombs. You never see what he's running from though, and he doesn't mention it or anything. Then suddenly the camera drops into a puddle of water and you just hear him continuously running until the video ends. It's never been revealed what he was running from or anything. The Simpsons couch gag is a disturbing claymation created by Lee Hardcastle. It starts off with the Simpsons family sitting on the couch watching TV. Bart looks out the window and an arrow shoots him in the head. Then characters in animal masks break into the house. Homer gets his hand cut with a machete as he tries to call for help and then gets shot. Maggie gets beat with a machete and Marge gets her scalp cut off but then starts fighting off and killing the intruders. She then gets stabbed before shooting the last intruder, and it looks like Lisa's the only one left alive until the cop shows up and shoots her too, mistaking her for the intruders. Syriac is an animation channel that animated so many nostalgic videos. Videos like Meow Mix, Welcome to Kitty City, and Cows and Cows and Cows. His animation style is super unique and cool and I love it. I know some people found the videos creepy, but I always thought they were so cool. My personal favorite video of his was Meow. I loved cats and I loved horror as a kid, so putting those two things together really did it for me, and it was one of my favorite videos to watch. Let Me Hear Your War Cry is a short video that shows a soldier and a sergeant with a mannequin face with the mouth open, both letting out a groan, and the groan progressively gets higher pitched as the video goes. The video is unsettling and that's about it. There's not much to say about it. Fun little fact about me, I'm terrified of bugs, so this one really skeeves me out. Massive Daddy Longlegs are videos that show tons of daddy longlegs hoarded together. In some videos they even touch or interact with the horde and you can see them run around and scramble, which why someone would willingly do that is beyond me. Daddy longlegs clump up to maintain moisture and humidity, regulate temperature, and as a defense mechanism. I know it's Mother Nature, but it grosses me out so much to look at it. God, I hate bugs. Obey the Walrus is a video from 2008 that scared a lot of people. The video starts with Andros from Star Fox singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider, and then it switches to trippy visuals. Then it shows a clip of Goddess Bunny while the Itsy Bitsy Spider audio continues to play in the background. The video is mainly footage of her just walking around, but it uneased a lot of people, especially younger kids. The video ends with a hard transition to a picture of a walrus. The video gained a lot of attention for how creepy and weird it was, and it also has supposed ties to a Latin American cult called La Morsa. I'm not so sure how true that is though. Japanese Ghost Haunted Hospital starts off with a blue screen warning that what you're about to watch has led previous viewers to insanity and suicide. Then it cuts to a newswoman saying that she's going to explore an abandoned hospital. She says that the hospital is infamous for spirit photography and shows pictures that have spirits in them while doing interviews with people who have taken the photos and been there before. She walks into a room and starts taking pictures, and when looking at them, she sees something strange. Then it cuts and she looks off into a room and starts screaming. Then it cuts to another blue screen and says that the experience led the reporter to go insane. Then they play back the video of her screaming, brighten it, and you can see a ghost standing in the doorway. Then it goes back to the rest of the footage and it shows her running and crying, and as she's running and crying, they stumble across what looks like a carcass. Nana825763 is a disturbing animation YouTube channel that's most known for the video username 666. Most of the videos on the channel are very similar and a lot of them have a baby doll character in them. The videos are edited in a gory way and some combine cute aesthetics with that gore editing. Most people find it disturbing, but I always found it pretty cool, and I love the contrast in the cutesy gore ones. The channel is now called Piro Pito and it still posts cool edits and animations. I really don't have much to say about Yelling Creature. It's literally just a 6-second video of a creature yelling. It's creepy looking and sounding, and that's really it. Lost episode creepypastas are creepypastas about lost media and episodes of shows. Some of the most notable ones are Squidward's suicide, Dead Bart, and The Grieving. The one that always scared me the most was the Max and Ruby 004 creepypasta. And the story wasn't what stuck with me, it was the pictures attached, and I think the same thing could be said for most lost episode creepypastas, and I guess creepypastas in general. That picture of Max and Ruby with nothing on their faces besides the black hollow eyes scared me so much when I first saw it. I don't know why, but black hollow eyes on like a face with nothing always scares me. I find it so eerie and like uncanny valley looking. I'm much more scared of that than any monster or creature. Charlie the Unicorn is a web series by Film Crow that follows 3 unicorns, Charlie, Pink, and Blue. Charlie is always in a bad mood and Pink and Blue always torment him. The series has that random 2000s humor and usually had a darker ending. Nothing too crazy though. I used to love this series as a kid, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't go back and watch the series again after seeing it on the iceberg. The Poughkeepsie Tapes is a 2007 horror movie about a serial killer in Poughkeepsie, New York, and the movie is told in a documentary style that looks super real. The story is also portrayed as real and is told through interviews and shows footage from snuff films that the killer left behind. The snuff film footage went viral online and was used in a lot of horror content because of how creepy it was. I remember I was watching Try Not to Get Scared compilations, and the Poughkeepsie Tape snuff film footage was almost always in it. Specifically that one scene where he comes up behind the girl and he holds the knife to her throat, if I'm remembering it right. Pretty sure that's what it was. Japanese Ghost Girl Mirror starts off with a little girl playing at a vanity. And she's so adorable, oh my god. She's brushing her hair and she turns to face her dad. She turns back to the mirror, then turns to face her dad again, except her reflection in one panel of the vanity is still looking back at itself. The video replays and it fades to black. The video is older and lower quality, and I haven't seen anybody debunk it before, which is pretty interesting. If it is fake though, they did an amazing job editing it, especially considering the editing software available at the time. Pat's top videos were peak early YouTube content, and I used to binge them like crazy. They made rankings of creepypastas, SCPs, horror games, and many more. They were so entertaining and introduced me and many more people to amazing different forms of horror media. Their various different creepypasta lists were the best, and I highly recommend watching them if you haven't. They still hold up today. Olivier de Sagazan is a French artist and painter who's popular for his transfiguration performance art pieces. In this performance, he takes slabs of clay and rubs them on his face, splashes paint on himself, and molds them and cuts them until he's unrecognizable. The pieces on their own are super disturbing, and it doesn't help that he groans and yells throughout them, but they blew up because they were used as footage in the creepypasta Gateway of the Mind. It's so crazy how he looks in the beginning versus how he looks in the end. And I'm very curious as what the cleanup process is like. Hi Walter, I got a new girlfriend today is a video that shows a guy talking about how he met a girl at the mall. He talks about her for a little bit and then he says that he's going to show Walter his girlfriend. He goes to the basement and opens a door which reveals a girl tied up crying and screaming. He then goes into the room with her, closes the door, and the video ends. The video went unnoticed for a while, but then when it blew up, and people started thinking it was real. They also started trying to tie it to different missing persons cases. But eventually the whole thing got debunked. The Rainbow Factory is a creepypasta about a death camp in Equestria that uses failed Pegasus remains to create rainbows, and in the story it's revealed that Rainbow Dash is the one who runs the Rainbow Factory. The story was huge in the Brony community, and the Wooden Toaster made a banger song out of it which I still know all the words to this day. There's also the music video created by Brony Dance Party that went viral. And when most people think of the Rainbow Factory, they think of the song and the music video. I was born and raised in New York, so I can't really speak from experience about this, but I had a mean hyperfixation on tornadoes and natural disasters as a child, so I'm pretty knowledgeable. Schools that were in areas where tornadoes occurred would have tornado drills, and during these drills they would hide in either hallways or some kind of interior room, and if the school had one, a basement. The idea of it is horrifying though. Imagine being in school and you hear tornado sirens go off outside and you're stuck hiding wherever while a tornado hits your school. And wherever the kids had to hide, they had to duck down in case there was impact. Imagine being a kid looking at the floor ducking down while a tornado rips apart your school. That is horrifying. Smile HD is a video that starts off with 3 of the main 6 lounging under a tree. Pinkie Pie runs up to them and starts beating the shit out of Twilight. Then she does the same to Rarity and Applejack. Rainbow Dash is flying over and sees this, and she flies down and starts beating up Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie then charges up and Rainbow Dash suffers the same fate as the rest. Then Fluttershy starts beating the shit out of Pinkie Pie, but unfortunately she ends up suffering the same fate as the other 5. All while a remix of Pinkie's Smile song plays in the background. And it ends with Pinkie Pie destroying the Earth. The concept of Pinkie Pie destroying the Earth is crazy. School fire drills never really scared me, but I know it did scare a lot of kids, and I understand why. That loud blaring beeping sound while having to evacuate the building can be scary, especially as a kid. I always loved it though because it took time out of class. I don't know if anybody else had this fear or if it was just me, but I was always scared that a fire drill would happen while I was in the bathroom. I know I would just have to leave the bathroom and evacuate, but the thought always made me paranoid for some reason. Like, I'd be in the bathroom and be like, shit, what if the fire alarm goes off? What do I do? Zest Subway Girl starts off with a guy filming in the subway while walking with his friend. They turn the corner and leaning up against the box is this girl who's coughing and choking on something. She starts twitching and you can see she's coughing up blood. She starts moving sporadically while screaming and the friends start backing off. This continues for a while and then she starts crawling towards them and the friends run off and that's where the video ends. If that girl's an actor, she did an amazing job because she really does look possessed. Or maybe she really was possessed, who knows? Grifter is a video that originated on 4chan and it was said that the users who watched it were killed in their own homes along with a doll being left in their house. The video itself is just a bunch of scary clips and gifs edited together with an occasional scary picture flashing up. Most of the video is someone walking in the hallways of a house. Towards the end of the video, it shows hands picking up a crying baby and then it cuts to a meat cleaver. The whole thing was debunked and some of the scenes in the video were taken from the movie Little Odick. Poodles Exercise with Humans is a bizarre workout video from Japan. It starts off with the workout instructor who has poodle-like muscles showing a picture of herself fat next to her poodle with overgrown fur. She then starts instructing a workout and instead of humans joining her in the background, it's poodles. It's so stupid and funny to watch, but I gotta give it to them, those poodles look really real. Cupcakes is probably the most popular My Little Pony creepypasta. It starts off with Pinkie Pie inviting Rainbow Dash over to make some cupcakes. When she goes over, Pinkie Pie sedates her and Rainbow Dash wakes up in the basement tied up. She's scared and then Pinkie Pie shows up wearing a jacket containing other ponies' cutie marks and she torments and tortures Rainbow Dash until she dies and then she uses her remains to make cupcakes. Very bright and happy story. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Also, follow my TikTok, I post daily on there, and follow my Instagram where I post video updates and daily life updates. There might also be a face reveal on there. Anyways, thank you so much